Congress, but which is barging into federal office after federal office anyway, demanding entry and access to the computers. When the Doge people arrived at USAID on Friday, they forced their way in and gained that access, as they have already done and at other offices of the federal government, the Office of Personnel Management and the Treasury Department, where they gained access to our Social Security files and the contents of everything everyone working for the federal government put into their job applications and their applications for security clearances, their financial information, personal information, information about their families, and more. All of that private data is now in the hands of people that you didn't vote for and didn't give permission to have it. Effectively, Elon Musk, an unelected billionaire oligarch, now has access to the personal data of millions, really tens of millions of Americans, and the data of his competitors, his business competitors, giving his companies an unprecedented advantage in their existing and likely future lucrative government contracts while they develop and exploit AI technology. Is that what you voted for? The Office of Personnel Management has been completely taken over by Elon's cronies. Elon forced out the head of the Federal Aviation Administration and the highest-ranking career official at the Treasury Department, Derek Lebrick, who reportedly resigned after refusing to hand Musk's lackeys the keys to the government's entire payment system and the $6 trillion in payments that the system processes every year. And it's not just Elon. Some of these so-called Doge officials, including people barely out of college who, and I cannot stress this enough, report to these private individuals, not to the American people. We know very little about them, but some appear to have connections to fellow white South African oligarch Peter Thiel, J.D. Vance's sole former employer. Over the past 2 weeks, which kind of feels like it's been 2 years, we have learned just how fragile our democracy is and how relatively easy it is for someone who's determined and really well-funded to steal and corrupt it. If you were going to write a playbook for how to steal a democracy in less than 20 days, it would sure look a lot like this. Let's bring in Vaughn Hilliard, White House correspondent for NBC News, for the latest. I want to start with this question of what authority Elon Musk actually has. The White House official said today that Elon Musk is serving in the Trump administration as a special government employee, neither a volunteer nor a full-time employee. Have you ever heard of a special government employee? And if you have, what is that?
It's supposed to give an individual 130 days to serve in the federal government. Exactly the extent to which an individual like Elon Musk, Joy, has a security clearance and just how high of a security clearance level, that is an outstanding question that we have. But I'll refer folks to an executive order that President Trump signed on the night of his inauguration, January 20th, that gave him and the White House counsel's office the authority to grant the highest security clearance level to any individual who they so desired. Because if you go back to 8 years ago, in 2017, 2018, there was a great many dozens of individuals who Donald Trump wanted to give top security clearances to, but were held up through the FBI because of questions about their backgrounds. And that grew to the frustration. And that led to ultimately Donald Trump signing that executive order on night number one. And now what you're looking at is Elon Musk and several individuals who are working and associated with him who are effectively demanding access into highly sensitive personnel data and parts of, for example, USAID headquarters that are not normally accessible to just any government employee.
And I want to go into this because Wired has done actually a lot of really good reporting, and they actually named 6 people, one of whom I think is still in college. And these are people who don't work for the federal government. It's hard to believe they have security clearances of any kind. Elon Musk has essentially banned people from X Twitter, literally blocked their accounts and deleted their accounts